Shelter Mortgage, flexibility, professionalism, and service. Let us custom build a mortgage for you.
Hello, Prudential Sales Executives, for our video message of the week. All right, this week's message has to do with short sales. Many of you have probably heard this. I'm living in my house for free. I'm not making my payments. Why should I consider a short sale today? Well, I want to share with you, I have 10 tips today to share with you. Some are basically obvious, others you may not have thought about, of why sellers are choosing to short sale right now. Let's get started. Okay, first of all, the obvious is forgiveness of any deficiency. Of course, one of the goals of a seller is to say, listen, I'm selling my property for less than it's worth. I would like to get all those additional monies forgiven. Okay, we know many banks are getting very aggressive on this, first and seconds, to clean that stuff up. I think they finally have got their mindset around that piece, specifically as foreclosure numbers continue to drop. Next is non-reporting on the credit report. This is very interesting. Banks now are even willing to, on a short sale, not report that short sale onto credit agencies. So this is something that I think you're going to hear more and more about as time goes on. This gives the opportunity for the borrower to have that debt forgiven, accept that short sale, and not take such a heavy hit as it comes to their credit. Next, avoiding foreclosure. You know, foreclosure is very different on many levels than a short sale. But one of the key points is a foreclosure stays with a person forever. In fact, on many documentation, they may be going for a credit, they may be going for a job. They have to put on there, there's a question there that says, have you ever had a foreclosure? All right, that stays with them for their entire lives. They have to say, yes, I have. That doesn't happen with a short sale. So that's a big difference, and I think that can matter to a lot of people. Now, this next point, it's so key that they, of course, need to talk to their CPA and, in many cases, their attorney with everything that we're covering today as it deals with a short sale. But the specific one is about their CPA, and that is the forgiveness of debt as it comes to the tax liability regarding any forgiveness of debt. Now, through 2012, there's some laws that are set up to forgive that. You got to, again, check it out with the CPA. Based on specific situations, but in 2012, they're still in play. What's going to happen in 2013? We don't know, but it's certainly a powerful reason why you want to get it done, check it out, and get it done in 2012. Next one you may not talk enough about, and that's rebuilding their real estate assets immediately. Okay? Getting started now and saying, listen, I am taking a heavy hit, but in that same vein, you know what? If everyone's taking a heavy hit and I can buy in the same market, well, you know what? I'm really in a great position, because if I'm selling at a low amount, specifically if it's a short sale, well, I get to buy at that same low amount too. So again, that idea of rebuilding their real estate assets in a marketplace that certainly is giving them that support from a financial standpoint and from a price standpoint. Now, keep this in mind, and this is tied into that last one, is non-traditional financing. Even individuals who have had a short sale, there is financing available. May not be at the lowest rate, but there's financing available that they can go and purchase a home immediately, the day after they short sale. All right? And maybe they have to take a higher interest rate for a period of time, but think about that. When you take the new price into account, and you take it with that higher interest rate, you will be very surprised. Most of the time, it is substantially lower than the payment they had with a lower interest rate, which a much higher balance that they were paying on their previous residence. And keep in mind, they might end up with a bigger house in that same opportunity as well. Cash for keys. You know, many banking institutions are really upping their cash for keys. So, you know, it's not sometimes a little bit of money. Sometimes a borrower can get a nice check, leave the house in good working order, leave in an orderly fashion, and get a nice check on their way out above and beyond the forgiveness many times of the deficiencies. I've always believed sooner is better than later. If you've got these issues going on in your life, you know what? Let's get it handled today. Let's not have it linger on, and I can start moving forward sooner than later. Couple more. A short sale brings a higher value for the home, okay, than certainly a foreclosure. So what are you doing there? Well, one, they're getting it sold, okay, at that higher value, which of course reduces the deficiency that they would own, but it also helps the neighborhood. It helps their neighbors, all right, and it helps the neighborhood overall. It reduces blighted neighborhoods. These are really key points. They may be sensitive. Not everyone's going to care about all the different points, but it's very, very key. Now you're helping the neighborhood and you're keeping that price, at least in a relatively healthy aspect, dealing in a tough situation. And last but certainly not least, laws continue to change. I've always believed you know what you got, you don't know what you're getting. So a lot of times when people say, well, I could just sit tight, what you don't know is there can be new laws coming into play. You know, maybe when we get out of the election year. You know, right now we're in election year. There's a lot of pressure, okay? But let's say we're moving outside of 2012 and we're outside of an election year. What new laws are going to come and change that you say, I wish I would have moved forward in 2012 instead of waiting into 2013. Have a great week, everybody. Hope some of those tips help you. Bye-bye.